Welcome to Enchanted Lore. Today we are continuing our discussion of the various kingdoms within the continent of Nov-Toray for the Untold Fate campaign. Last week we focused on the various human kingdoms such as Terrenial, Borumia, and Lothania. We will provide a link to that overview at the end of the video. GMs, do note that this video is safe to share with your players. Players, this is a limited overview, and if you wish to learn more about these kingdoms and their people, then we suggest having some points in the history skill. Now, for this week, let's focus on the non-human kingdoms. Looking first to the south, we find ourselves in heavily forested lands with refreshing pools of water. It is rumored that magic feels stronger here, and you can find rare reagents. By far the oldest kingdom on Nov-Toray, and the ones responsible for the continent's name, Irilica is home to a faction of the High Elves who broke away from their kin to establish their own kingdom, keeping vigilant watch over the fledgling human kingdoms and sharing some of their own knowledge with them. Compared to the other kingdoms, the Elven government is a bit different in that they are a diarchy, also known as a dual monarchy, which is led diligently by King Leodethos and Queen Lindori from their beautiful capital known as Aethelon. These two have held power for many years and are highly respected. The elven people of Irilica have a reputation for being skilled in the arts of magic and are known for hosting multiple rituals for various occasions and partaking in special holidays. As mentioned in Terrenial's lore, Irilica is a client state, but the relationship between the two nations remains surprisingly positive. Terrenial rarely interferes with Irilica. However, one requirement was that several human governors were appointed to the border villages, thus granting Terrenial access to some of the exquisite and finely crafted elven goods. Another requirement the King of Terrenial imposed upon the elves was that a member of the family needs to serve in the armies of Terrenial, bolstering its magical ranks. Unlike Borumia, with their burning hatred for Terrenial, Irilica and Terrenial are able to coexist. The people of Terrenial and the elves began forming trade routes and cohabiting in some of the border towns. Elves tend to be more reserved of the outsiders the deeper one travels into their kingdom. But in all fairness, the people of northern Terrenial, who've never been to the border between Irilica and Terrenial, will harbor doubts of the capabilities of elves within the army due to the outcome of the war. Now we move to the nation north of Terrenial, known as Ulfstadia. This land is both harsh and rich in resources, tamed only by the unyielding dwarven clans. The people of this nation often stay within their borders, focused on their craft and on surviving. But do not mistake this reclusiveness for weakness. If met on the battlefield, the dwarves would prove to be worthy opponents. Dwarven merchants have been known to venture from their mountainous homes to trade with the border villages of Terrenial. However, the relationship between the two kingdoms is purely professional, and no alliances have been formed. Now, as King Drayton turns his eyes northward, and as the banners of Terrenial near their borders, all wonder, what will the dwarves do? Last but not least, we turn our view eastward. Hidden behind her mountainous veil, shrouded in a misty cover, not much is known of the nation of Atlantis. Those who try to peer past the veil and into her mysterious treasures and venture into the borders are never heard from again. When the name of Atlantis is spoken, the people of Nov-Toray are filled with fear for what lurks within her borders and wanders during the night are vampires. Mothers near those lands will tell bedtime stories, warning their children to behave lest they be taken by such monsters. We hope you enjoyed this overview of the non-human kingdoms within Nov Terrae. Next week, we'll talk about design, choices, and discussions you should have when creating your character for this campaign. That's it for today, and thank you for watching.